everyone, welcome to another episode of PrimeTake. Today we are having a conversation with a former Black Stars international. In fact, his outfit, I'm sure, reminds him of his early days when he started out his footballing journey, where he grew up to represent the country at the highest level of continental football. Unfortunately, one of the stories that follows his generation is one of those things that happened recently, where the Black Stars was not able to qualify to the next edition of the African Cup of Nations. And this was 2003 in Kigali. Today, we're having a conversation that coincidentally is at a point where Ghana has not been able to qualify for another African Cup of Nations, which is happening in Morocco next year. So I'm sure probably it's an area he will be touching on. When I do ask him that question about what it feels to have been part of a team that unfortunately disappointed Ghanaians. Augustine Arhinful is my guest here on PrimeTake. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I've changed this interview for like a year now.
It's true, more than a year. Because you don't choose the right time.
So this is my problem.
Yes, the problem is you. You know, today you got me rightly because today is Monday. I have to go and play football. So you can see in my jersey already. Going to this.
So what does this remind you of, this outfit, this dressing?
It's normal. I mean, we've been like that since the days of me growing up in Takrady. Like every Monday in the afternoon, we'll have to go to Police Park, we call, to go and look at all these top players there. Nebo Smith, Emmanuel Kwachi, Kofi Abre, and the rest train. And then, strangely, they all loved me. And so I was always in there with them. They encouraged me a lot because they had dealt with my father before.
Oh, okay.
My father coached secondary as I mean, he played the team before he was a captain and he became the coach. So I think when I was born, he was the coach. So I grew up interacting with all these.
Your football has been in your DNA?
Oh, yes. 4 of us, 4 boys, all of us played football.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
that's interesting.
And it came naturally. It wasn't as though our father played football, so he was pushing us to play football. Unlike recently, you see some parents pushing their wards to go and play football. No, it just came. Me, for instance, I had completed GSTS waiting for my results, GC then, and one day I visited the training of soccer missionaries, sitting under a mango tree at the training grounds, and Coach Amwa walked to me and he said, Infante, what's in your bobo pa? I said, oh, yes, coach, okay. Start training with us tomorrow. The rest is history.
The rest is history. That's a good one. But were you that talented? Because for Coach Amwa to just walk in and...
Yeah, because I think somebody has spoken to him about me. You know, playing, growing up in Takrady, playing coach as usual. Yeah. I started as a midfielder. You can say an offensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And so, all through my coach playing days, I played through, you say number 8. And so, when I transitioned into a striker, I could score goals that people did not understand because I learned from playing as the number 8. I could always pop in the area without you noticing me. Yeah. So it was so now I'm old, and if I'm playing at the back, because now when we go, I play at the back, and
because you don't want to run.
Not like that. I think I run more than most of my colleagues now.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, because we've put on weight and all that. So I run most. So I have to be at the back to cover them. But it was the best amongst all the people that were interviewed. And he applied for under 17 specifically. Because he thought he was now.
Yeah.
But the job was given to Paco Isife, assisted by Opeele. So I called Uncle Ben. I said, Uncle, what is Starlets to Ghana football? And he said, it is the foundation of the game here in Ghana. I said, okay. So I said, so if you don't get it right from the beginning, the end result will not be the right. He says, yes. I said, okay, Uncle, why would we appoint Paco Isife as under 17 coach? Brilliant. And say Opeele should assist him. I'm not saying Opeele is not good. But look, the under 17 is the foundation. Players are supposed to be 15 years, 14, 15, and 16. They are still amateurs. These players don't know what really entails or pertains in the game. So if they get certain things wrong technically, we, the coaches, have to demonstrate to them on the field of play. Isn't it? He says yes. But Uncle, you know Pakwesi Fabian did not play football. I mean, he's been part of so, but he didn't play football physically. Opeele, no. So, if these people were coaching the Black Stars or Satellite, fine. But not Starlets. Because the things that they are going to get them wrong, that they will not be able technically
to
teach them. Then he says, Augustine, when are you coming down? And I said, oh, in about 4 weeks' time. Okay, when you come, let me know, I'll call a meeting. And I want you to ask the same question. Indeed, I came down, I called the uncle, I'm back. Okay, next week, Tuesday, I have a meeting. So we went. And he told me, when you come into a meeting, ask that question. When it comes to any other business. So we did our thing, and then when he go, I asked the same question. And then Coach Adi, may he so rest in peace, said, Augustine, you are right, you are right. But you see, we put Opeele there for media purposes. Yes. What for media purposes?
You hire a coach,
yes,
for the foundation of your football,
yes,
just for the media purposes?
Yes, they put him there for the media purposes. And I said, why, coach?
What sort of justification was given for that?
So, you can see that the real pressure did not come from them. But technically, it wasn't the right. And if you can remember, for me, it was one of the worst under 17 teams that we had. Because we went to a tournament, I think, in Algeria, if I'm not wrong, Algeria or Morocco. And we lost the first game to Nigeria by 6-1 or something, if I'm not wrong.
Which year was this?
2011.
2011?
Yeah, 2011, somewhere there about it. You can go back and check.
Yeah,
we came out of the...
Yeah, that was one of the horrible U17 teams that had to get Salah Stete to come back to take over the
under 20.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, if we do these things to ourselves, and somebody who has played the game before and knows these things, and you talk about, I'm not a talkative. But
couldn't people have said that because you have a good relationship with CK, that's why you, in your opinion, you think CK should?
No, it wasn't that I wanted CK to be the coach. I said, amongst the people that came for the interviews, everybody had been given an area to apply for. He applied for under 17. So if interviews are conducted and he comes on top of that area that he had applied for,
and he's not handed it,
and he's not giving it to him,
yeah,
and then we give to some other people because of supposed whatever
media,
and then it goes wrong, who are you supposed to blame?
But as a committee, couldn't the committee have insisted that based on the interviews we conducted, these were the people,
the executive
first,
always
second,
has
third,
the advantage over it. They don't want to say it. The executive always wants what they want to be.
Then what is the essence of the technical committee also interviewing people and cannot make suggestion that this person should be the person we believe can lead the technical team?
They'll say you are not a team player. After you have been in this business for that long.
But we're having a conversation.
I'm not supposed to be the one to tell you
it happens. I need to understand, because the point is that if you hire me to do a job for you, and I make recommendations based on my technical experience, but you decide to overlook what I've suggested and go to hire someone, quote unquote, who do not have the technical abilities to execute what the technical team thinks should be done, then we are doing ourselves a great disservice.
That's how come we are where we are. Because people are not willing to come out. In the name of team. You are not part of the team, you are not part of the team. But my brother, as you sit here, if you identify that I'm doing something which is not right, and you are not able to tell me, and you continuously look the other way for me to perpetuate that, and I fail, haven't we failed together?
At this one, they have supervised your failure.
So, you see, we have to begin to really understand the norms of this game and try to correct them. Seriously. Other than that, tomorrow you get me in another interview, you pose the same question, I probably give you worse answers than what I'm giving you now. But that is a reality. It is.
Did you eventually find out who hired Pakwesi and Opeele?
I told you earlier on that 3 members of the executive committee then Now it's called Executive Council.
Yes.
And then 3 members of the technical committee would always meet to interview. At the end of the day, the decision is collective. So if the technical committee then will propose, and then the executive does not take it, and then they think otherwise, they make those appointments, the technical committee can't come out to come and say subsequently that this is what we did, and then
why can't
then you can, but you come, you say that, and you know that you are off next time.
Yes. So to protect your integrity,
yes.
Then it
you
is
remember
better to...
You remember 2015?
Yes.
4 years after serving 4 years on the technical committee of the FA, I was moved to the under-20 national team.
Okay.
As a management committee member. So I was part of that selected team that went to New Zealand.
And you were beaten by Mali.
Yes. And guess what? You see, these are the things that I don't understand. As a committee member, 2 or 3 persons from the committee are supposed to be part of the team at any time that they travel. But you have me, Augustine Ahinful, who has played the game before, has played under 20 all the way to the final. We have won the AYC. I was the top scorer. We went to the World Cup. I was one of the top scorers. I think we were 2 or 3. But Zambrano from Colombia won because he played fewer matches. Who has transitioned to becoming a coach? And also,
and you have to add a calf license A, isn't it?
Yes, and then also a member of a committee. And then we were in training camp in Turkey when we were going for the AYC in Senegal. I was with the team in Turkey because they know Turkey was my base and they needed me to communicate with the language and all that. But when we were going for the tournament in Senegal, I was dropped because supposedly I had traveled the team to Turkey, so I could not. Some other committee members should go. But you have to bear in mind that I have played the game before. I am a coach. And so if I'm a member of the committee, I can even assist the coach in terms of when things go bad, technically. The same thing happened. We went to Australia for pre-tournament camp before the World Cup, but I wasn't part of the team to New Zealand. So I had to return to Ghana while the team was in New Zealand. So after the World Cup, when we came back, a radio interview somewhere in Takrady. At the time, the election was upcoming, the GFA elections.
Okay.
And then
they should be August 2015.
Yeah, somewhere there.
August 2015.
And so it was this regional, before they would do the regional.
Yeah, the RFAs and all that.
And the Western region, my own area. The chairman then, who lives partly in Ghana, partly in the US, some other people wanted to contest him. And those people were disqualified. So I happened to be in Takrady and I was called on a radio program. And I said, this election is coming on and blah, 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 they've disqualified. Then I asked the question that what was the
criteria?
And they said, some other person who was supposed to, like yourself, me, we are in the same team. You are the chairman, I'm the vice. And when he brought his documentations to be endorsed, you, the chairman, was not there. So I, the vice, signed on behalf of the club. And so that the person was disqualified because they said the chairman did not sign. But I'm asking myself that, were they aware that that person who signed also belongs to the club? If anything at all, they could tell the person who brought the forms that, look, it wasn't this man who signed, so take it back for him to sign. And in the rules, it allows that. So they disqualified them. So as the guy posed the question to me on air, it just came out naturally, infanti, that, Charlie, you are corrupt. You are corrupt. Because if the person could not be asked to go back for that ratification and then for him to bring it back, and then because of that,
what if the window had elapsed? If the window elapses,
I don't think the window should elapse. They know. Because so if I bring my forms to you, and then you look at the forms and you know something is not right, you can always go, Augustine, this is not right, so go and change this and bring it. Because what you want the thing to stand firm and stand well. So 2 persons were disqualified, and the person who lives partially in Ghana and partially outside was going on opposed. And the chairman is a friend. I mean, we are colleagues all from Takrady. I don't hate him. But it didn't sound right to me. Allow people to come and contest and then win. And everybody know that you've won. But when people are disqualified, like recently we saw the FA elections and George Free was disqualified. The question is that this is somebody who has been the vice president of the FA before. Is it just that we just hold on to some little mistake to take advantage of?
But if you want to lead the association, you should know those little mistakes should not be made. Because some of those little mistakes can be detrimental to the entire football governing body if you are given an opportunity to lead the association.
So we are where we are now because of these things.
So we are too book long? Is that what you're saying?
Well, because of these things. You see, sometimes you should be. Look. Can George Free lead the FA? That should be the first question. Can he lead the FA? Yes or no? Yes, for me. Because he's been part before. Maybe not on the top. Okay, so what can we do to remedy the situation? Allow people to go into contest, not like unopposed, but allow people to contest those people that you feel that they want to be there. And when they win and they are propagating their agendas, you can see that it is going right.
Yes, the similar thing that happened to Palmer 5 years ago was equally wrong.
It was. What was Palmer's crime? That he sold a player and didn't pay the FA at 10%, so he was disqualified on that. Really? I mean, it wasn't an infraction of the rules of the game or something, but it was like he sold a player. And when I asked him, Palmer and myself are very close.
Oh, sure.
Yes, he was my chairman of the Under-20 committee.
Oh, okay.
Proud to that. And he's somebody who really respects the former players when you interact with him. George Free, 1996, way back. I don't know how old you were. When we were going for the Olympic Games.
I was 6.
Olympic Games in the US. We had a training camp in Japan before we were playing to the US. George Free was there. So when we were going for shopping, he was the one taking us out. Go here, go there. So he's loved football. And recently he showed me a picture of us. Way back in 1996 when we were in Tokyo. Palmer's issue. A player was transferred on loan from his club to
Frank Veros.
Yes, in Hungary.
I wrote that letter to FIFA.
So that player played after his season, spotted by the club in Belgium. And then what? The FA was refusing to issue a license of ICT. FIFA gave provisional license for the player to go. So if FIFA gave that license, no, you had no right to hold on to the boy's transfer. The boy should go. Fast forward, that FA collapses. A normalization committee sits. And now they say what? He has to go back and come and pay a 10%. That, if Ghana had issued that certificate, would have come to Ghana. Back to Ghana. Ghana did not issue the transfer certificate, Masa. So, I think that there could have been a dialogue. How do you remedy this? Is this person going to come to help Ghana football? The answer was yes.
What about his comments on radio? Ghana did not pay indemnities. That's why we didn't qualify for.
You see, sometimes it is him.
World 2008.
It is him.
The World Cup 2018 rather, yeah.
It is him. He chose to make those comments.
But someone with integrity shouldn't be making such comments. If you want to run an association,
so when power corrupts you, when you speak, you don't think. Excuse me to say. So you speak, and after realize that.
So in that area, you agree that he got it wrong, and
some of the communications, yes, because you see, when you want to at all costs force me into a bucket, what will I do? Look at how tall I am. You want to force me in a bucket which is like that. Won't I struggle to come out of it? So he's struggling to come out of it. How can he take something and hit you with it? To be able to. So he also felt that he had to come out to defend himself.
Let's rewind that.
For me, I think that it was wrong. It was wrong.
Let's rewind the conversation a bit. What is that one thing you've never told anyone about yourself?
I don't know. I think everything about me is out there.
No?
Yeah.
There are definitely some aspects of you that we don't know.
Oh, what? My kids?
How many?
I have 3 boys, 3 girls.
6?
Yes.
Wow, what a striker.
I'm a grandfather now.
Oh, really?
Yes, my firstborn has a nice baby boy in the US. They are all outside of Ghana. You know, I lost their mom when the first one was barely 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Next month, 11th December, will be 15 years she passed. Now my son will be 27 early next year. And then the second one is 20. They are all down with university. The third one is in Minnesota University. The fourth one recently completed Accra Girls. She left last Friday to US. The fifth one is in the US high school. And then the last one is with my current wife. Yes, she's also over there. So that's all that. But so I've said it.
You are born in more?
Eh?
You go born more?
I don't think so. But if it comes, it comes. You know, I had in mind, when we got married, I had in mind of having 2 kids. 1 girl and a boy. Because I loved girls growing up with their hair made and all that. I loved. So it was always my prayer to have a firstborn girl and then a boy. And then we had a boy. And then like almost 3 years, another boy. Between this one and that one, almost 5 years, another boy.
Back to back to back.
Boy. My wife was so down. And then almost immediately, between the third and the fourth, she got pregnant. So my third born and the fourth born is exactly 1 year, 9 months difference.
Okay.
Yes. He's born January, the girl is born in September. 5th January, 8th September. So it was exactly, so she got back, pregnant again. And every test that we had said it was a boy. And then she gave birth, it was a girl.
Oh, nature.
Everything. Even the videos on screen in the US, you can see the testicle, everything there. But when she gave birth, it was a girl.
Nature?
Yeah.
Nature finally gave you your girl?
Yeah. And so
you can strike.
Yeah, when I had the girl, I was overjoyed. But the fifth one also came. And from nowhere, I don't know. It was God's doing. Because there's a lot of stories behind. Maybe that is my secret I don't want to share. I will share it on another platform. When it comes to religious platforms, this is not a religious platform.
No, let's have that religious conversation. No, in fact, I'm interested. I'm interested in the wonderful hand of God in this.
Oh yes, because you see, I had decided I didn't want to play football again, 2008, because I couldn't run from here to there, and then my knees would be swollen. It was like, you see, like it would be shaking as though there was water in there. And it happens playing football. Once every now and then you have to go, they will drain the water out of the fluid. And then 2008, I said, I can't deal with the pain again. And I didn't want to have any operation, so I stopped. That's how I stopped football. So for 3 years, I couldn't play Monday Stars. I couldn't run from here to there. And because I couldn't run. I'll go to training at the biology park, my friends Osekufo and the rest will be playing, I'll be sitting there watching them. So one day I went to church on a Sunday. And as we're doing the worship songs, the woman who was singing, who was not a pastor, just said, I've seen that the Holy Spirit has entered here and is holding somebody and they are healing that person. They are holding the person's knees and they are healing the person. So as I stood there, I just said to myself, oh God, I wish it was me. All my friends play Monday Stars and I don't play soccer for 3 years. I wish it was me. So I just prayed that prayer. And then after the worship, I decided to walk down there to go and get a bottle of water. So as I walked towards the gate there, somebody tapped me from behind. And when I turned, it was the woman who was on stage singing. I said, Mr. Ahinful, hey, can I speak to her? I said, why? He says, what I said was you. As I was singing, the Holy Ghost opened my eye And I saw two angels. One was leaning left and the other right. They were shaking your knees like this. That's why I asked that what are they doing? They said they are healing you. I said, yeah, that's why I stopped playing football. So wow, then the God is doing something. Do you believe in this anointing oil thing? I said, So buy one there for me. There's a woman who sells it. So I bought a small body olive oil. She prayed over it and gave it to me to just use it on my leg. So I came when I applied it 1 or 2 times. I just put the oil somewhere. Exactly a month after. Exactly a month after, because it was a Sunday. The month, that day was a Monday. So I just put on my shirt like this and I went to the park and I was playing football. Everybody was, Augustine, have you been training secretly? I said, no, I'm healed.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this last born year that I'm talking about. So when I came home 2000, that I wanted to stop football. I think a month or 2 after, my wife said she was pregnant. I said, you say you have your girl. You have the girl. You're going to do family planning. You know I'm a striker. I can shoot and score from angles.
Every angle.
And then she says, I didn't know. Then I didn't know women were secretive. Like she brought out a diary. Everything that had happened between ourselves since I met her is in that diary. So she said, oh, you know, you came to from Turkey on this day. I had my menses on that day, so I was safe. So when we had sex, I couldn't have been pregnant, but I'm pregnant. I said, oh, no problem. She said, no. People will say that we are giving birth as well, we don't think. Because you have 3 boys and a girl want to. I said, but you are my woman. He says, no. So she went to see the doctor and he was terminated. And then I went to US because my leg was not. I went for a checkup. And then I came back after a month, some weeks down the line, I came. And then some 2 months down the line, she said she was pregnant again. I said, madam, you have Ola Body Williams here, you are doing all things like that.
You have a striker at home.
And then she says, no, the same thing happened and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, yeah, keep it, no problem. I mean, God gives and then she carried the pregnancy for like 3 months. And then one day I was going for an all-night service. So when I got there, I picked my phone. I wanted to put it in the letterbox there. Yeah. And I saw she sent me a message that I have an appointment with the doctor tomorrow to go and terminate the pregnancy because I can't do it anymore. The sleepless night and all that. I said, no problem, go ahead and do it. But, madam, should something happen, count me out. So I went to the church. I put my phone. I went to church. After church, when I went to the church and I was praying, I saw this pastor that had visited us from Kumasi. He was walking towards me, but we're praying. So he just came and then stood beside me and then whispered to me that God is telling me that I should tell you that your wife is pregnant, that she wants to touch it. This is the 2nd time. And the moment he said this is the 2nd time, I began to shake a bit. So I looked at him like that. He says, did you hear what I said? Me say, I may catch him and say, oh, you're after a phone person or in second. Corner ko catch him and say, oh, no, I mean, problem be a she shouldn't touch that pregnancy. This is the 2nd time. In fact, I couldn't pray again. So I just came out. I waited. The church was over like 4 a.m. thereabout. Then after, I showed the message to the pastor. He said, oh, what's the problem? I said, I don't know. She said she has too many kids. So, no, I'll be here. So bring her to church. Let me counsel her. So I came home. And I said, well, let me sleep. When she wakes up then. So I went to sleep in the other bedroom. Because she was there. As I was sleeping down there, then my phone message, ping. 5 o'clock, who will be sending me text me, 5. Then I heard the voice that read the message. It was clear, audible voice, read the message. I just got up, I pressed the phone, and it was my wife. I am at the hospital waiting for the doctor. She had moved the car from the house, and I was so tired, so I didn't even hear. So I called her, I said, madam, this is what I went to church. I was told. But once again, like I told you in the text message, I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead. If something should happen, count me out. You're a big girl, madam. I just hung it up. Then I didn't see her the whole day. I think she went to her mom's place and she never came back until very late. I didn't ask her whether she did it or she didn't do it. I was there, I could see the pregnancy was coming, and then she gave birth to the last one. But strangely, 6 months after giving birth, she passed. So these are my secrets.
it is a hand of God for me.
She's now 15 years.
God having to speak to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to remind you of old, but how were you able to take care of a 6-month-old baby?
You know, like you said, God, sometimes you don't understand him, but it is what it is. Whether he's here with us or he's somewhere, we don't know. But I believe that he's amongst us. The small girl never took breast milk the first day she was born. Never. So from the word go, she was on milk, like the artificial one. In the US, when you give birth, they supply you this milk. Yeah. You can't use it tomorrow. It's just today. When the baby doesn't bring it, you discard it. So
and you get another one.
Yeah, it is supplied you. So every now and then you go for it and until the baby. And she never took the breast milk.